Hey everyone, this is the Mind Workshop podcast. I'm your host, Victor Dwyer, and today we have Dima with Sellerize, and we're going to go through his journey of like how he kind of got into the e-commerce world, and then we're going to really dive into Amazon strategies that have been working in 2023. Dima, thank you so much for coming today.
What's up, Victor? Guys,
Yeah,
nice to like.
please give us an intro, like kind of how you got started into all this.
Yeah. Overall, guys, I don't know, like if you've been following Amazon space, I've been selling on Amazon for like 10 years plus. I think I started in 2012 or 13 with this amazing company. It used to call Amazing Selling Machine. Now they call Amazing, and it was a really cool journey. So.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Like I have many stories, guys, like up and downs in 10 years. Amazon changed so much; it's become a completely different game from what we've been starting with. And nowadays, is like such an amazing company to start selling products on Amazon. So some people like who've been on Amazon for a long time, they feel like things changing a lot, and sometimes when they build their technology or their marketing on one way, and then Amazon changed something, they have to adapt. A lot of people they cannot adapt. But every time I see new people coming and they try and they succeed, they say like, "Wow, that's an amazing opportunity." So because they
Yeah.
didn't know how it used to be, they just can hear some stories, but overall they come in brand new. So
Great. And what does Sellerize do?
summarize. Oh, if it
Is
okay,
it yeah.
let let me tell you something. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I would say I have so
Okay.
many companies, and Sellerize is just one of them. The company that I developed, I think, since 2016. Back in the days, there was we used to have like 300-400 SKUs back in the days, and Amazon was kind of glitchy all the time, changing the images, titles. And I remember we decided, hey, we need something that will monitor our listings all the time, because we used to have about 15 employees in Philippines. There
Mhm.
was on a schedule checking
Yeah.
listings all the time, notifying managers, a team and support team that we used to have. And then we developed this monitoring software. The Sellerize was at the beginning like a monitoring software. So and I remember I called to one company and I asked like, hey, how much is gonna cost me to build a monitoring software? They say like, it's gonna cost like maybe $25,000-$30,000. So
Wow.
after I spent $300,000, I realized it's I don't know, guys. If you ever work with the technology or try to build something serious that can really make the impact on the world,
Yeah.
it doesn't cost $30,000. It costs way more. So and yeah, after like 2 years of working with the Sellerize, eventually I decided to shut down the project, and I almost was about to shut down. And I remember I was doing this like a meetups for Amazon sellers, and there was a guy. He came to me. He said, "Hey, Dim, I have like this couple smart guys. They developed this fantastic mobile application, and their investor don't want to invest anymore because it didn't go well for them. They need someone who gonna help." And meet with them, with the investor. I say, okay, guys, I can buy out your project. I think I purchased like that for like $150,000. And then after that, we started to develop absolutely new system. We wiped out the previous Sellerize. We kept only the name, and now we become like a tool with 17 or 19 different tools inside under our subscription. So people
Mhm.
just enjoying automating the negative review removals, reimbursements, other stuff. So that's
Cool.
how the Sellerize works. Yeah.
I feel like entrepreneurs, like if you have that itch, like you almost all entrepreneurs are like serial entrepreneurs that they don't like just start one business, they start like four because like they're like, "Oh, like let me do this now. Let me do this now."
Mm.
And I feel like that's kind of like once you have that seed that you kind of like
Mm.
just always need to start more businesses. I feel like it's just how it is.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest problem of any entrepreneur. It's they chasing a lot of shiny objects all the time.
Yeah.
So trying to develop this focus mentality, the delegation mentality, because a lot of entrepreneurs eventually in their companies they become a bottleneck in their processes.
Yeah.
So and a lot of time I see when I consult Amazon sellers, I tell like, listen, you are the biggest problem in the company right now. Don't take me wrong, but you are the
Mhm.
biggest problem in the company. You are the person who holding company from the growth. You're so afraid to give enough tasks to your employees, lose this control, and yeah. Anyway,
You're totally right, and it's because it's very hard to delegate, and the reason why is because delegation requires trusting other people, and if you don't like, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'll do it better than that person anyway. Let me just do
Mhm.
it real fast." If you do that 100 times a day, you're gonna be just doing these like small things that don't matter. But if you
Yep.
teach the employee how to do it, they can repeat that task every day where you don't have to do it anymore. So it's really important to first say, like, hey, you're not going to be good at everything. There's going to be other people. Like, I'm good. I suck at 90%, 99% of things. And there's a person out there that specializes in that thing that I want other people to do. For example, graphic design. I suck at graphic design. I am not good at making things look good and pretty. That is not my skill. So I hire a graphic designer because I
Mhm.
know they have the skill to create it and making it look good. I'd be using stick figures for this webinar right now if I had to design it. So that's where I like really it's really important for A to trust another person and realize that most of us suck at 99% of things and there are other people that are going to specialize in something that are going to be better than yourself, but you have to like strip down your ego and say, hey, like, I probably do suck at 90% of things and I should probably look at other people that are doing a little bit better than me. And it takes some like not only like being honest with yourself, and you have to talk to yourself because we all think that we're good at everything all the time. That's not how it is, unfortunately. So you
Look,
got to really strip that down.
I can, guys, destroy some of your worries.
Mhm.
Majority of the people who just getting started, sometimes they're like telling me, "Hey, Dima, what if I will hire someone and then they're gonna copy my ideas and they're gonna start something like similar what I'm doing or completely like copycat me?" Guys, from my 10 years experience,
Mhm.
I never see. Maybe I've seen like maybe one or two people, but I hired like more than 400 people myself and fired a lot of people as well. So I can
Mhm.
tell you that none of the person is started the business and or at least tried to copy me the way that we was doing something. A lot of people was coming to me and telling me, "Hey, Dima, can I join your team and learn?" And eventually, my intention is to become an Amazon seller. I said like, absolutely, like I love you to work in all this, so because you want to do this, you're probably going to work for free. And it's kind of a joke right now I'm saying, but overall, when people come to me and come to my organization, they hold some, like, I will give them responsibility in some department. But overall, once they start to learn how big is the company, how complex sometimes things, they realizing, even if he understand, okay, how to get reviews or how to drive social media or how to develop a product, how to communicate with suppliers, how to deal with logistics, how to calculate taxes or accounting, how to do PPC or listing optimization. Imagine there's so many departments. Everybody is responsible for something. They're all communicating like a live organism.
Yeah.
And after that, they realize, alrighty, so maybe I just can become a good at something and just developed my way up in the company. So that's happened a lot of time with majority of employees that I've been hiring before.
And another value piece is the ability to take the 10 minutes to learn something. So we talked about the one side of the conversation being able to delegate. There's a second side of that conversation where you're delegating too much, and like where it's important to understand that, like, take the 10 minutes to learn what it is to be able to communicate it. For example, video editing. When you're
Mhm.
video editing and you're editing a video, and if you, for example, if you say, hey, I don't like this way this whole video looks, and
Mhm.
the video editor is going to go like they're not going to know what to do. They're going like, well, that's super vague. But if you understand the concepts of video editing, like
Mhm.
transitions or cuts or overlays and things like that, you understand the pieces of the video, and now you can say, hey, I don't like these, like I don't like the overlays and transitions. And now the video editor like knows exactly what to change, and you're an effective communicator at that point. So what I would recommend is taking the 10 minutes to watch the YouTube video, understand how to do it, and then you're able to effectively communicate it to make it where it's a lot easier for that next employee. So there's two sides of every coin, but it's really important to like understand what you're talking about to communicate it more effective. So I always have to understand what my employees are doing to make sure like, hey, like that way I can exactly be an effective communicator no matter which employee it is in my company.
Yeah, I
Very
agree with
important.
you. And look, I also love to talk about this terminology. I call this compound knowledge. It's
Mhm.
when you are the director of operations, you or wherever you call yourself in the company, and then you
Mhm.
do a lot of things, but you do a lot of researches. You see competition, you go to the events, you read a lot of books, and you have a lot of this like millions of pieces of content that been collected by your brain in the last 8 years, 6 years, 5 years, regardless of how much time you're doing. But you collected way more than any
Mhm.
other employee in your company who just came and was specialized on a specific topic. And a lot of time, like when we're trying to improve logistics, I come and say, hey, how about the packaging changes? How about this and that? And there's a lot of small pieces that when you put them together, you're like, wow, it sounds like a genius idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And please tell us how you got started in creating your first business. Like tell us that journey of like what made you want to do it and kind of why you got started in the first place.
No, I've been always very entrepreneurial. Like I even back in Ukraine when I was living there, I was working in this multi-level company that was
Mhm.
selling cosmetics. Majority of like my jobs, I never have a job with the salary actually. Every time I was having like commission-based things, and I love to sell things on the market. But when I moved to United States, I started to work as a pedicab driver, which was a fantastic job. Like it's a bicycles for tourists. It was a cool journey. Like you take people on a bike. And I remember the average pedicab driver was making about like 120 dollars per day. I was making between 600 to $800 per
Oh
day.
my gosh, you're just
Yeah.
raking it in. Just raking it in.
Yeah, I come up with the idea that I realized, hey, majority of the pedicab drivers, they take a guy and they take from point A to point B. But if I will come up with the idea to sell a tour, then it will become a more valuable thing for people. No, so I can take them to the like different places, and I can charge them like 200, $300 for a tour. So, and that's I just need to catch two or three guys, and then I kind of close my entire entire day.
Mhm.
So that's
It and, like, thinking back to it, like, personality trait wise, like, I really, like, thought back of, like, "Hey, why am I more successful than, like, other people?" And I think where it really comes down to is drive, because, I'm not smarter than everyone, I'm not, like, this, like, better person, I'm not super skilled in a lot of things. I kinda just, like, the really main value like, the main thing that makes people successful is honestly the drive. Like, if you're able to just work and, like, keep going somewhere, that's the main factor of success. And honestly, like, really thinking about it, nothing else really matters. If you're driven intrinsically to a goal or like just going in a general direction, then you're going to win no matter what, no matter how smart you are or anything else. Those things help, but
Mhm.
it really doesn't matter. And kind of going to like the reason why you're making $600 a day at that point was like because of that drive and you're really being able to go. And yes, you had that like smart idea, but like that drive to just keep going, that's kind of really what got you going. I love to hear your opinion on what do you think is the main success factor to people being successful?
Yeah, and look, America was always been about true entrepreneurship. So when I moved here, I was trying to find different business ideas. I remember we even tried to buy this uh, um, portable donut making machine with my friend. Like, hey,
Yeah.
that's a cool idea. Maybe let's buy this, or maybe let's buy that. I remember on my weekends. I was renting a minivan because we was living in Key West. I was taking this minivan with my wife, and we was driving to Miami, buying two scooters, loading to this minivan, driving back to Key West and selling the scooters. So we was always trying to make a buck or two everywhere. And then one day on this pedicab, I met a guy who was a really fun guy. He was like a smoking weed all day. He just like blow money everywhere, and like, hey, what do you do? You're such a cool guy. He's like, I sell products online. And like, wow. He's like, I do about like $60,000 a month. And like, $60,000 a
Wow.
month? like selling things on eBay. What do you mean eBay? Like I didn't know that what eBay means.
Yeah.
I said like, hey, just show me what you do, like just like a example, and I will figure out the rest. He's like, hey, I like you. Come to my house in Tampa. I will show like in a few days how things works. And me and my friend we rent this car, Kia Soul, and we drove this like 10 hours trip, and eventually the guy was showing us for like a few days how he was selling this bolts for the cars, and it was a really interesting journey how the guy did. And then we get started also with the eBay and Amazon, and we started with the drop shipping, and overall we start to, and then we bought this course from Amazing. They was teaching how to build products, products on Amazon. So it was a cool journey actually.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. It's really like crazy how people start the seed of changing your life forever. Like think about it. Like let's say that you didn't meet that guy, you like walked past him, for example, and you never had that conversation. You would have been in a completely different part of your life right now. And that's really, really fascinating. And that's why I enjoyed talking to so many people because they always have a different perspective on where they go in life, and that makes it where like any conversation could be the next point of changing your life. And when I watch a YouTube video, for example, that changes my perspective on how I look on the world, I like save that YouTube video because I know it's a pivot point of
Mhm.
starting that seed of where I eventually go to the next stage of my life. So it's really fascinating to have those conversations. It really is. I think it's really cool.
No, I agree with. Look, and I personally believe that all knowledge is already existed in this world. Like
Hmm.
it's already been done by someone. Like for example, I don't know, some one of you guys listening this podcast, and you're like, hey, um, let's say you're making, I don't know, like $500,000 per year, or maybe you're doing already like 5 million a year. Believe me or not, there's like thousands of people who already have done this. They already cracked the code to grow to the next level, and there's so many levels, guys. You just need to realize one thing: like until you figure out how each level works, I would say like requirements, you wouldn't be able to go higher. There are some people who was able to go higher, but it's not sustainable. So you have to figure out a main, like a key point, KPIs, whatever you call them, fundamentals. There's people call them different ways, but the moment you figure out the code, you start to make money. Like you start to go to the next level, and then you're surprising yourself, like, hey, look, I'm making right now $100,000 profit a month. It feels so easy. Like why did I just figure out this like 3 years ago? But probably the path that you was probably going through right now is just it just was a condition, the strategy. Maybe you met someone, maybe you get on a podcast like that, and you start to follow Victor everywhere, and like, hey, he dropped some knowledge somewhere, and you're like, hey, it's clicking your brain, and the moment it clicked, there's no way to go back. Trust me. Like I know like a lot of people, like for example, if you're making there's guy Vadim Zeland. It's he brought some books, like amazing books, guys. You should read if you never read them. And there's a nice thing about like okay, difficult to me to explain, to translate this. Anyway, the Vadim Zeland, guys. If you find this guy and his books, read them. It will help you to realize how the reality works in terms of this systematic growth.
And what's super fascinating about that is sometimes you have to hear it 10 different ways and then one way it clicks. So, for
Yeah.
example, like most people know that they should probably meditate. That's like a normal, like it's very common that people think they should probably meditate. They just don't. Especially in American culture, we're very fast. We really don't worry about it. And I don't even remember what book it was, the ebook I was listening to, but basically, it at some point it just clicked for me, and I was like, "Hey, like I need to do this. Like this is
Mhm.
important." Even though I've heard it probably 10,000 times, I need to meditate. Like that, I was like at one point I heard it in a certain way that made me think about it a different perspective, which I started doing it every day now. So it's really fascinating how when you hear things 10,000 different ways and one of them clicks, and then that one being the one that changes the way you think about it. Very fascinating.
Yeah,
Really
especially
is.
when some suggestions come from your wife or your husband. Sometimes we ignore this, and usually those people who actually suggest us, guys, like as I said, like a husband or wife or your relative. Sometimes we don't want to hear this, or we don't want to listen, or like I don't know, for some reason we just skip these ideas, and then you hear from someone else. Like I remember I heard this from Tony Robbins. If you don't have a 15 minutes per day, which is like for towards meditation or something, you don't have life. So you cannot control, if you don't control your schedule, you don't control your day, it means you don't have actually life. And a lot of things, Victor, will change as well when you start to have kids. So I have
Yeah.
two. I don't. Do you have kids?
I do not have kids. I'm a bachelor, so I
Oh,
I
you
do
have
not.
you have a long journey.
Yeah, I do. I do have a long journey. That is correct.
um, it's gonna change your perspective on really how much time you have per day. So uh, well,
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Before I got kids, I remember I was feel like uh, I was feeling like a discipline is something that limit me. But after I got kids, I realized that discipline is actually what gives me freedom. So the more discipline you have, and there's another cool book. It's called Productivity Project, guys. If you never read this book, I highly suggest. There's one key point from the book. It's everyone has their specific prime time per day. Someone have like in the morning, someone at night. You need to just figure out, and this prime time usually lasts for like 3-4 hours. And if you figure out this time, make sure at your prime time you focus on your growth, company growth, financial growth. I know wherever is more important for you in your life. Make sure your prime time dedicated for this part of your life. The rest of whatever you want, like so
Yeah.
just like hanging around, go on the podcast, like so.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, what are some common mistakes that you see people that make in their either their business or on Amazon? It could be a bit normal business or just an Amazon business. What are the common mistakes you see there?
Yeah. First of all, we need to realize that a lot of people who come to Amazon space, it's that's the people who came without previous business experience. So they've been just sold by idea to become financially free. And a lot of time I see advertisement, hey, change your 9 to 5 job to Amazon, but they just don't realize you need to focus to grow as an entrepreneur, as a mindset, as a technology wise, strategy wise. There's a lot of things that you will need to learn. It's like joining a university, but at the same
Yeah.
time, you bet in this university with your own money. You're risking your money, your stress, your nights, your relationship with other people. Like so. There's a lot of things, guys. You put it on your plate when you're trying to start a business. Amazon, or you doing like some maybe like a restaurant business, or you decide to open a taco place. So and I have like what 12 or 17 businesses, like a lot of partnerships. I'm really good at delegation. So number one thing, guys, I recommend you need to figure out what things you can offset from your daily routines, and you need to figure out what exactly impact on your growth. I will give you a couple examples. There's another book I would recommend you. It's called Execution, and this book is talking mainly. Their point is a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't understand. They don't realize what exactly in their company, what exact action in their company actually making profits. So
Mm,
and they buying like more fancier computer, or they trying to update some software, so they trying to like focus on like a lot of things, like they start to go to a lot of events, trying to do this networking, and events works, but not when you over abuse them, like so it's you don't need to go to every single one, like you just need to pick one or two maybe per year, and maybe it's going to be enough for you to get enough networking for you guys. So like my thing was, I remember my first hire was a person to offset my customer service. I hired this person for like 300 or 400 bucks a month, and because I remember I was reading all these reviews, and I was reading all these complaints from the customers, because complaints will come. Believe me or
yeah.
not, regardless of the quality of your product, you can have the best product in the world, but
Hmm.
there would still be people like who've been upset about like delivery time, packaging was incorrect. There's sometimes like defects in your products also, it may arrive because there's some percentage as well. So and
Yeah.
I hired this person, and I stopped worrying about anything. So
Yeah.
and another biggest part was for me is hiring after my company become like big enough. I hired my executive assistant, so that's give me another, like, I just buy out a lot of my personal time, while like I didn't open my personal email for the last 4 years. So
Wow.
it's like I didn't even know right now how email inbox look like. So that's that's what you
Wow.
need to achieve for yourself as a delegation option, so maybe I'm, like, I'm kind of overestimating. Of course, sometimes I can check the email, like if it's like important, like oh, she cannot answer. But overall, I don't go through the email all the time, like I don't go this on a daily basis or even weekly basis. So it's like sometimes, so
Mhm.
another part for you guys would be it's continuous innovation. So you need
Yeah.
to make sure, like, marketing strategies, they changing all the time. So back in the days, people was just continuously focusing on Amazon. Like, okay, if you would ask me, like, me, Dima, if you asked me like 5 years ago, Dima, what would be my strategy to promote my brands on Amazon, how I can, like, use Facebook or Google for that, I would tell you, like, stop worrying about this, just focus on Amazon, inside Amazon strategies, and it's enough for you to become number one. Now if you will ask me, I say, like, there's no way for you to become number one without utilizing Google, Facebook, and or even TikTok, wherever people using nowadays,
Yeah.
blog posting. There's a lot of traffic sources, and you need to realize, like, what you can be good at. So
100%. 100%. I've been the conversation to Google Ads to Amazon. That's a lot. I think in Q4 that's going to be a critical piece to success, in my opinion. The whole Google Ads to Amazon thing. I think external traffic is going to be very important, but I think the Amazon ads cost is going to go up so high that the Google Ads piece to Amazon is going to be a critical thing in this Q4. Is my prediction.
yeah, and
So yeah,
Victor, another part would be is, guys, stop chasing every single hack and trick on the market.
yeah,
It's gonna just kill your focus. And sometimes people underestimate how much focus may cost. you may
yeah.
you may just juggle, you can just jump between different ideas and strategies, but overall you will you need to find a one working strategy and maximize the potential. Because sometimes
Yeah,
people define the strategy and they're like, let's find another strategy, but they didn't maximize this, they didn't implement on all their products. So that could be a killer for you if you don't realize this uh, fast enough.
100%. And what would you consider something you did wrong in your e-commerce path?
In my camera, I would say I start to do lots of partnerships too earlier.
Mhm.
I didn't know how to properly craft partnerships, and I didn't, because look, when I started in 2013, I was really good. Like I hired about like 40 employees, and I was just I went to from zero to $500,000 in sales in just 2 or 3 months. It been growing so freaking awesome. And then I decided to hire this business coach. So
Yeah,
be careful who you getting information, guys, from, especially if you just go into Facebook groups. A lot of people's they may sound legit, but even they've been referred to you. Sometimes they don't have an actual business experience, and they never have a actual um, what I like to say. Think about a blackjack game. Okay, a lot of people can teach you strategies about playing a blackjack games, but until you put your own money on the table, you will start to realize all majority of the strategies, they don't work. So
yeah,
until you're really in a game, you may realize, like, hey, this optimization is not as good as yeah. And I remember I decided to get he recommended me to get business partners, because he would say, hey, you're really good at marketing, you're really good at developing products, you maybe need to maximize this by just getting these partners, and they teach them, like, and they grow the companies. So, and
yeah.
eventually
And
I
sorry, knowing what you know now, what would you say? Like, how would you find a business coach? Like, how do you know how do you know if they know what they're talking about? What's your process to make sure they are actually good? What
This
I wanted
part
to ask.
I didn't figure out yet, like, because
Yeah. Okay.
it's like, yeah, no, evaluating business college is very complex part. I think it's just look, here's the thing. The strategies he gave it to me, it's not he been wrong, it's just me was not ready for the strategies. So don't make me wrong saying like, hey, the guy was bad, like he told me like you have to do partnerships, but he didn't explain me how to pick the right partner. So maybe I was not educated enough to realize how to build up this partnership. So I went to all my friends. I say, hey, would you like to become a partner? Like so, and all of them they've seen my lifestyle. I think I was making like 60 or 80 thousand dollars pure profit per month at that time. I was like
Mhm.
having like a really like free lifestyle, and it was just completely awesome. I remember I called to my friend. He also successful entrepreneur, and I say, hey, um, let's go play volleyball on the beach. He told me like, Dima, it's a Wednesday, 10:30 in the morning, or like it was 11 in the morning. No, people don't go on the beach on a Wednesday before noon. They in the office. And I like, oh, really? Like, and
People do that.
yeah, yeah. So because I was really good at delegation, like absolutely fantastic. So, and that's something that you guys have to acquire. But um, my mistake was I went too broad, too fast. And I remember I went to Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, and I learned like a couple cool things. And I met a guy who explained me like some rules in building a partnerships. And after I came back from that, I called to every my partner, and I break all the partnerships. I buy out all the companies, and basically I end up with like 7 or 8 companies at that time. So
Wow, that's
yeah.
awesome. And what are some KPIs that every Amazon seller should look at? There's a million KPIs that you can look at. Key performance indicators, which is just data points. What are the best data points that you can kind of look at to really driving growth on Amazon?
Yeah, it's actually a very simple thing. Uh, Guys, remember one thing: Amazon is very simple business. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, that's rule number one. So I will tell you like few main metrics that you need at the beginning, and until you master these fundamentals, don't just try to go broad or I will tell you. So there's two main metrics, and then I will add a few more. So metric number one, it's CTR, it's click through rate. It's when people searching, they clicking on different listings. So and click through rate, it's like what determine if people will click on you or on your competition. And the second major part is conversion. So when people already landed on your product, like are they gonna convert into the buyer, or they gonna be distracted by other advertisement or other listings that right now, Amazon listings, they full of ads and other placements that people can go away. And the reason why I realized this, I remember in 2016 or 15 when we start to do a lot of Google ads. We've seen that we pay for the ads, but we're not getting as many sales as we want, because we set up this affiliate program with the Amazon. Back in the days, there was only way to track the sales from outside traffic was affiliate programs, and that you can sign up with Amazon. Now they have this attribution link, which is fantastic. But you need to understand attribution link doesn't count mobile orders. So okay, I don't want to go too much into the details.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of people who land on your listings, they're not gonna convert. They will be kind of stealing by other placements on your listings. So conversion is matters, and there's a few ways to improve conversion and CTR. The CTR you improving by split testing your main image. You're using services like PickFu or IntelliV. Like you just put your competition images, you put your image, and you see which one is clicking more. And if we usually try to achieve at least 60% clicks going towards our product in these campaigns. So the second part would be for you. It's having a clip coupon code if you're using the strategy, because clip coupon code really increasing CTR, click through rate. And the beginning of the title is really important, because that's the only what people see. So if let's say they're looking for I don't know, like vitamin C serum, if you say like something else, probably they may click on a listing that says vitamin C serum, so for
Yeah.
face or for neck. Yeah. Anyway, that's the CTR and conversion. It's two main metrics that you have to track. Also, on top of this, you need to measure how much traffic you get in. So that's kind of this is something that you can get through keyword placements, advertisement, other things. You can see inside your reports how much traffic you get in, if the traffic increasing or decreasing. So and also you can always measure the another part. It's how much money you spend on advertisement. And I can tell you, like, a lot of products on Amazon will not perform with the ads. So
Yeah.
and the reason
Unfortunately.
why, yeah, and the reason why, because a lot of ads, um, like, it's like a gatekeepers as well, like on Amazon. So it would be complex for you to overcome those. Like, if the person is a bestseller, for example, he get an
Yeah.
absolutely different performance by Amazon compared to you, who, let's say, position number 20 or 23. Even if you pay enough, sometimes Amazon just doesn't give you enough impressions or enough traffic or enough conversion. So maybe he just sending you not very relevant traffic. We don't know exactly how it works, but overall, you may lose against those guys. So you need to earn your way up. Maybe other ways if the PPC doesn't work for you.
Yeah. And what are some other strategies that you would recommend an Amazon seller that should be doing in 2023? Any other strategies that have been doing well, or anything else that you would recommend there?
Yeah, no, look, I guys, I told you about this main metrics, and you can master different type of placements, like I told you, like a Google. For us, for example, Google Shopping works really good. You can use tools like AMPD. They're doing a great job with the Google traffic. So it's simple to set up, simple to track. They use this attribution links, and Amazon now pays you 10% for driving this traffic, so which is fantastic. Also, Facebook ads and TikTok ads. Like, I would say, like, building a brand, like real brand with a lot of UGC, user generated content. It's something that may help you. I remember Pinterest is doing a great job for us as well. A lot of blog posting. If you know how to write articles and distribute them, there's a lot of companies like a PR Wire try to go with this as well. I can get you, like, but it will be like more like a next level, especially if you. It depends on your budgets and how much time you can dedicate to it. So we
Yeah.
can go through like marketing separately as well.
Yeah, and I always talk about the difference between a seller and a brand. A seller kind of only works on Amazon, and a brand is like trying to build an overall image and brand awareness and things like that. I will say Amazon still is like the holy grail of advertising. Like there really isn't a lot of things that can beat the efficiency of Amazon ads, since so many people are there to purchase. It's very very difficult to beat. So I would definitely start on Amazon when it comes to the advertising. And if you guys don't have reviews yet, like, that just takes time. But besides that, I would say the second opportunity that everyone Amazon seller should be doing is Google Ads to Amazon, probably using Amped. And then three, I would probably recommend like starting a real TikTok strategy and like working with influencers. That's a huge opportunity. I had a client that was making, like, they one viral TikTok would get them $20,000 in sales in a day. So it was crazy. So it's a crazy opportunity. And if you really figure out the influencer strategy on TikTok, man, you're gonna kill it. So
Victor,
those would be my top three that I would have.
I think a lot of time a lot of time sellers, they struggle not with the ideas like, hey, Google ads or social or Facebook posts or Facebook group, or let's build the article strategy. They struggle with the clarity how to implement in their business. Like, they know,
Yeah,
like, this, like a lot of, like, a million pieces of ideas or strategies that people been sharing, but they don't have an exact path. So that's
yeah,
why, like, I will give you a simple example. If you guys want to start to do TikTok ads right now, the main question you have, like, how do I register TikTok account? How I get access to the ads portal? Blah blah blah. So on, so on. You can do as simple as that. You can just go to a website. It's called joinbrands.com, and they just recently released this TikTok advertisement feature. Like
Yeah.
there's already influencers, there are already guys who are ready for you to do the job. Just pay the fee, see how it works for you. What if it's gonna stick? Maybe tomorrow you spend $300, you do this what $20,000 in a day. Like so, it's
Yeah.
it's like a try fail succeed mindset. So don't be
Yeah.
worried about spending like few $100. It's a business, it's normal. So
Yeah, 100%. Is there anything else that's been on top of your mind lately that you either see, hey, a lot of people are doing this and they should be doing that? Is there anything else that's been on top of your mind that people should be doing or anything that you've been wanting to communicate lately?
Victor, I can tell you also another thing. It's just first of all, any strategy that or you've seen working for someone else may not work for you, and opposite.
Yeah.
So if someone
Yep.
tell you like, "Hey, TikTok ads doesn't work," how many times you've heard that TikTok doesn't work for them?
A lot.
Like a
Yes.
lot, yeah.
Yeah.
But did you hear people saying like, "Listen, I'm making a killing on TikTok ads"? So
Yeah, a lot.
who
Yeah.
is right?
Yeah.
Like almost impossible to figure out. Like so even if like sometimes I see someone say, "Hey, I felt at the TikToks," I say like, "What's your product?" And he's like, "Okay, just to give just a random example. Let's say he's saying like it's a vitamin C serum." I like,
Uh-huh.
"Are you serious?" I know the guy. He doing 16,000 sales per day of vitamin C serum on TikTok ads. And like, are you kidding me? Like, so I want to see the brand. So do your
Yeah.
reverse engineering and try something that will work for you. So
Yeah.
what you told me, like I say, like um, always test. Like
Yeah.
always test, always try. I have my good friend from New York. He launched a lot of products on Amazon, and he told me like, Dima, um, uh, there's no bad products. So
Yeah.
we relaunch product until it succeed. So generally speaking,
Yeah.
there's no way to fail. It's all about your focus, dedication, and your budget and ability to survive through this times. Okay.
Yeah, that's amazing. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. I bet we can keep going on this for 7 more hours. Dima, please tell the audience how to find you, how to find all your businesses. I can't just say like Sellerize. Tell them how to find you and your business is.
Yeah, guys, just simply follow me on Instagram. It's Dima Kubrak. Same as I think you see my name, Dima Kubrak. Just follow me on Instagram or follow me on Facebook or whatever platform is easier for you. I mainly use these two. I have some like little information, like a lot of. I have not enough maybe like YouTube videos on YouTube. You also can follow me. I have like some cool videos about teaching you like some cool strategies. You should watch this as well because primarily I'm talking from my personal experience. As I say, like not everything works for everybody, but majority of things they will work for you guys if you put enough focus to it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Dima. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you everyone for watching. This is. I hope everyone had a good time watching, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you guys.